Gemini, welcome to your monthly readings. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. Each month I offer half priced readings with great discounts. So if you would like to know more about that as well, email me and I will gladly give you all the information required. If you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So, Gemini. Well, I feel like for some of you dealing with situations that have been dragging themselves for a long time and that have been very difficult to get through or understand because of its complex nature or its confusing kind of force. I feel like for some of you, you are going to return to a more clear objective focus. And whatever has been a big question mark for some Geminis, I feel like it's going to be either clarified, whatever needs to be clarified about it, and answered to you and revealed to you whatever you need to know about it. But also, I feel like for some of you, it's just wipe out, erased. There's something being erased out of your life. And I feel like for some of you, there are issues with permanent endings. So, endings that either have been delayed or on and off situations or loops, consistent kind of loops in your life. I feel like the month of October can be the final month in terms of situations that are not serving your life anymore or that have reached, yes, its point of termination. There is a point of termination, I feel. For some of you, it's actually things that are keeping you from your freedom. So for some of you, depending, of course, in the level of attachment you have, it may be hard to deal with the ending, but others of you, I actually feel you're going to feel, I can breathe now. Finally, this issue is done with. Finally, something is resolved. I feel like some of you are going to feel really alleviated because finally you feel free. Freedom seems to be one of the key words for Geminis. I feel like some of you have this desire to return to the light, the lightness of being, and I feel like some of you will. There's a sense of you having your wings back on and flying around and floating around, interacting, experiencing, learning, talking, communicating, socializing, which is something that usually agrees or usually pleases a lot Geminis. So I feel like some of you are actually returning to yourself, returning to who you are, returning to your essence. And you do have here the Queen of Swords. So I feel like some of you are really determined to use your mind over to control irrational impulses or irrational fears or things that are holding you back that in your mind they don't make sense anymore. And so why should you keep yourself from doing whatever you want to do or take the decisions you want to take because of this past influence? You do have the moon here as your past influence, which can be sometimes tricky. I feel like some of you have discovered or are discovering the real nature of something in which some of you may have been eluded by. There have been illusions around you or lies, deceptions, and I feel like some of you will know about this and you will kind of crack the code of whatever was not making sense or whatever truth you have been seeking. You shall find it. That's the message. But I also feel that others of you that are wanting freedom from a circumstance, from an issue in your life, you can find that. But I also feel like it comes with a price. I feel like some of you may be aware that freedom is pricey for some reason, either because it's going to cost you something that you know it will be a challenge for you to endure, or because there are consequences inherently in deciding to be the truthful version of yourself and living a life according by that truth. So there's a lot to contemplate in terms of what you will be doing with your life from now on. Others of you have a lot of progress and attention and good results creatively and in terms of your work and your career. I feel like some Geminis, this is your focus during this time. I feel like this is where you are being called to be focused diligently and working hard to establish whatever you want to establish professionally. Um, Others of you it's like just entering a phase where you are more in your mind again, more in the mind than in the earth realm, and so you are more disciplined. I feel like some of you have learned lessons about responsibility and how to not be afraid to commit with those responsible energies of commitment, of owning, this position you are being called to kind of step up in the stage of life. And it may be something that used to scare you, or you used to feel like you were not ready to deal with or equipped to deal with. And I feel like you are becoming this professional executive persona. Some of you, of course, not all of you, but some of you are kind of building your own sense of um, professional image and professional, you know, a definition of who you want to be, how you want your work to be seen as, or to be the function it has in your life and in the life of others. You want to really go through it diligently, and this is where I feel some of you will be rewarded really, really in really good ways with this Queen of Pentacles and the outcome of all of this. So there's a great sense of results out of your work and out of your efforts to be the best version of your own self, and to present yourself in more patient, grounded, calculated ways than flamboyant or irrational or moody. It's like an effort to be consistent, which can be hard for Gemini, but those efforts are going to pay off. I also feel that some of you may have amazing new opportunities coming professionally, things that some of you may not even be seeing or considering, things that you may feel are not a part of your future that may happen and may come in and kind of push you again to not be afraid to be that professional version of yourself, or to find more about this aspect of your nature that actually it's more materialistic and more focused on building some type of safety net or some type of wealth. I don't know if some of you are afraid of not something happening in your lives and not having that, that savings to then meet whatever expense or whatever situation you may be dealing with. Some of you may be afraid to not have money for something. And you may be considering again the future self, like when you get older, or when you may get sick, or something for your children. But I feel like you are very focused on it now, and not wanting to go through that point in your life when you may need money to survive or to deal with anything coming and not having it. And of course we all somehow think about it, but I feel like you are really determined and not letting this happen. Others of you may be really attached to finances, money, and your current employment circumstances. It's just, for some of you, you may be turning a little bit workaholics, or you may be in the direction of turning to be a little bit workaholics. But there is a lot of recognition. So if you feel like you have been working like a dog and doing your best and nobody kind of recognizes you for what you have been doing, I feel like this month you may receive that recognition and actually be very, 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 very recognized and appreciated by what you are offering in terms of work. If you have your own business or you are considering, this is the month where your efforts are also going to pay off. This Four of Pentacles, it's great to build that solid rock of and foundation that it's really rooted and hard to detach from. So it's something that once you set a foot on, it usually stays a long time. So applying efforts on foundation, home, family, finances, security-based aspects of of our lives. I feel like this is where you are being called to be more um, invested. Let's say to be more invested here right now. Even though, of course, I also feel some of you are dealing with an issue of wanting to feel that your life is like is full of experiences, and you have the whole spectrum. So you want to be happy with your work, you want to be living in good financial conditions, but I also feel like for some of you that this has been happening for a while, you know, a lot of focus on work. You are asking yourselves, why just work? Why can't I have that person by my side, or having an amazing experience in love and relationships, or with family, or building my family, or traveling the world, or whatever, you know, other aspirations you also have, of course. Some of you may be a little bit, let's say, saddened. I feel some of you are sad about just the one-sided aspect of your life, and this may be where you are seeking more freedom in terms of maybe breaking free from your own fears of opening up and exploring a little bit more in terms of range of experiences and not just focused on one. Even though I feel that it's true that this is the one you are being called the most right now, and I feel like there's a purpose and a reason behind it. I feel like once you master this aspect of your professional life, there's a pentacle of success, or something for you to reach and also to give to others that are really important and maybe a part of your purpose right now. And I feel like once you, or until you've mastered this aspect of life, yes, the universe may be controlling a little bit other areas or other, you know, flux of events that would also make you feel happy and satisfied, because maybe the universe knows that if it would give you everything at the same time, maybe you would be a little bit um, you know, scattered or not as focused and as committed. So it could go a little bit it could have many ramifications. That's what I want to say. So don't feel discouraged if you're feeling like your life is dry right now, or just about work, or just about future, or just about money, or just about um, things that for some of you are not enough. I feel like the fact that you may be feeling as well this boiling of creative energy can help you feel better about whatever daily tasks and routines you are kind of dealing with. I feel like adding your colors, adding your creative talents will help you feel much more satisfied with what you are doing. I feel like some of you are dealing with, I don't know if it's children, like your own children, that may be in focus as well, or you are dealing with something dealing with children for some of you that may be important in the month of October. It could also be that some of you, the biological watch is kind of ticking in, and some of you are asking yourselves, maybe it's the time, maybe if not now, when? Some of you are considering having a child, or thinking about having a child, or why not have a child, or you may be just desiring that. That's I feel like some of you want to be closer to children, or the youthful essence, let's say, of your own self and of life. So you may actually surprisingly see yourself much more crossing paths with children, or seeing childlike vibrations around you more than usual, let's say, which could also be a sign, yes, for you to kind of tap into that inner child of yours and check in with it and see how it is doing right now, especially if you have been living a life that is like very like on the adult side, like very responsible, very diligent, very about money, success, status, and all of that, responsibilities. Don't forget your inner child and that creative sense of expression that wants and needs as well to come out to help you balance responsibility with still remaining in your essence. I feel like as well other things, uh, other Geminis may be sad or I feel like whatever will end or is ending or is going to end, it may be even though something that you are aware and mentally prepared and know that it's better to end it and it's time to end it. I feel like emotionally, of course, it may not be as easy, and there are some powerful emotional reactions that may sometimes take over Geminis during October, especially when dealing with endings and losses. Yes, I feel like some of you feel like that death energy, even if it's not, of course, a literal loss. Emotionally, it's hard on some of you. I do feel that, and it's taking a toll on some of you to cope with it. But I feel like the message here is for you to not lose faith. Faith is something that, again, that essence of the child can also teach you, and it's present all around. The proof of the benefits and the existence of miracles all around in faith. So don't lose it. As dark or as scary it may seem for some of you, of course, dealing with this. Don't lose it. There's a light out there for you, and wanting to guide you the way out through that pain. And whatever ends, it's allowing this new beginning in your life, and you never know if whatever you think you lost, if it will not come back in other ways. Sometimes it's the fact that we resist the letting go and the ending itself that actually sends whatever we need and want further away, and resisting because we know it's going to hurt, of course. And it's not easy to let go. Anyone that says it's easy is lying. It's not, when we are dealing with deep emotional attachments. And some of you are learning a lot about this, a lot, and I feel like it's an ongoing process. There are better days, and there are days that are going to be felt more strongly, and making sure you are nourishing yourself, you are taking care of yourself, you are as well connecting with people that can support you and help you through the process. I also feel that is very important, because in other ways I feel that whatever ends is something that, again, needed to end to make you feel free and able to breathe again in life. Yeah, because I also feel that others of you here are showing up as being amazed or surprised in the month of October when realizing the amount or the the, the large type of change coming, or about to happen, or already starting to happen. There's this sense of you understanding in a moment of October, understanding, oh my god, this is bigger than what I thought it would be in terms of changes. So there are surprising and big changes coming. And other message that it's really as well in focus here is that be careful with what you share and what you say. I feel like some of you need to watch what type of information you disclosure. I feel like there's this message of silence, remaining silent, or silence sometimes is gold. So I would advise you to keep things more closer to your own self, especially things that deal with your privacy, your intimate self, but also about your future plans and ideas to conquer the world, let's say, your own world, of course. There may be someone with their eyes on you or listening to what you have to say and not with the best intent. I also feel like if you trust someone that you shouldn't, that information may be revealed or shared, and you may not want that. So be careful what you say. That's what I want to say, and what you reveal, who you trust. Make sure that you trust people that have been, of course, a part of your inner circle and that have proven the test of time in terms of trust, because there may be issues with trust and loyalties and in leaking information about you or about what you are confiding, that it's not supposed to happen that way. And I feel that it's better to stay quiet about something right now. So if you are thinking about telling someone about whatever decision or situation happens in your life, if it just affects you, or if it's just about more about you or about your future, again, plans, wait until a factor or something, that moment seems right to share. I also feel that this applies to things you may want to put out there in the world. It's like there's more creative, I feel like creative mastery. It's like to make it like perfect, or the closest to perfection, before you fully launch it and you fully spread the message you want to spread. So I hope you have a great month. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting to my channel. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see each other soon.